Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to use the Secretary of State website for the state of Oregon to do just some simple research and information hunting for campaigns or candidates, political action committees, or even on individuals. So let's get started. So I'm going to head over to the Secretary of State website, which is simply sos.oregon.gov. And here it has all the functions for the Secretary of State. So we have the business and voting, state archives and audits. For our purposes, we want to head over to elections. And here we have some other things that we can do if you want to do research. But today we're just going to go to follow the money in ORESTAR. And here they have a few links for information on how to set up a committee, search for campaign finance information. On this side is where you can sign up for an ORESTAR account, but keep in mind that you don't need an ORESTAR account to do a public information search. The only time you need an ORESTAR account is if you have to record campaign finance information, for example, if you're a treasurer like I am for Marion County, or if you're a candidate, or if you're on a campaign finance team. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the search for campaign finance information, and here is where it gives us a few more options, and we'll have more information on this next screen. So we're going to search for committee by name, and here's the actual website that allows us to search. So here we have the public search information. It has committees by name, by election, by measure or petition. You can specifically search campaign finance transactions or certificates on a campaign. So it sent us over to this committees by name website. Today we're just going to go and search for a previous campaign that we know. I'm just going to type for Chris Dudley's campaign. And there's a few committees. There's Who is Chris Dudley committee, which is a miscellaneous one. But for our purposes, we want to look at the Chris Dudley, Friends of Chris Dudley, and here we can see the ID and what office or party affiliation, so we know it was for governor and a Republican. So if we click on this, it'll give us an overview of the information, just a statement of organization for this candidate. The official name was Friends of Chris Dudley. Here's the effective date, mailing information. It's still an active committee. Right here it says that it's present. Shows us it's a Republican, and the address. And just basic overview. This is all public information about this specific candidate committee. So if we want to dig a little deeper, we have a few more options down here at the bottom. An account summary will show us what is going on for a specific year. So here it pulls us into the current year, which is 2013. In 2013, this committee has not received any cash contributions, not surprising. It has some reported expenditures. It shows us that at the beginning of the year, this is what the balance was right here, and that for the year there have been a total expenditures of $2,539, leaving with this cash balance. And this is all a regular accounting balance sheet that gives you a summary of a candidate or any committee. If we click this previous button, it pulls us back to a prior year, 2012. In 2012, we showed these expenditures bringing down with a balance, a remaining balance. And if we continue to go back, it has all the information that was brought in. Now, it doesn't give you any specifics for who brought that information in. Instead, it only gives us the total summary for each year. So I want to go back and find out more information about who specifically was contributing or where the money was being spent. So I'm going to remember this ID number 13998 at the top, and we're going to search for it again. And instead, we're just going to put in the committee ID, that 13998, and search for that. And it pulls us right back up. So we were before at the account summary, but now we're going to go to this campaign finance activity. And here, this screen is going to show us all of the records. It shows us that for this committee, for all the campaign finance, it has over 8,000 records displayed. It's only going to show us 5,000, but it's going to sort them and pull them up in a chronological order that goes from the most recent transaction all the way back to the oldest. And here we can just see the transaction date. The status, original, just means it was filed as is, it wasn't changed or amended. This is the committee that's paying for it, and this is the type of transaction it is. It's either going to be an expenditure, or there's going to be some contributions, but for now all I see are expenditures. This is where the money's being spent and the amount of money that was being spent on that transaction. If you scroll down, you can go through next, and if you keep going, it just goes through all of it. And as you can see, now we're back in 2010, and here we have like a cash contribution of $10 from Richard McCarthy on 11/30/2010. So that gives you a good idea of where money's being brought in and where money's being spent. You can also search by individuals. You can pull up your own name if you're curious of making sure that all the contributions that you've made are being reported correctly. You can search that way. So let's go and search that. So we're in the campaign finance transactions, and here we have the contributor or payee information. You can also search for individuals. If you have somebody that maybe is considering running for office and you're curious of who have they contributed to in the past, this is a good tool to help you look up and find out maybe who they've given money to, and that's usually a fair indication of where they lie politically. So let's just search for Nike. We know they've been in the news lately for some big cash contributions. Let's see what we can pull up. So here we can see the names Nike, Nike Inc., and affiliates. These will vary depending on how a committee or a candidate records their name in their own individual address book, but we know that generally they're related. They are the same company. Each committee is responsible for having their own address book, and so that affects how things show up on this website, but for the most part you can see how they're related. So here we have cash contributions from Nike, and here's this big one that I was talking about. It looks like Nike Inc. gave $100,000 to a Nike Equality PAC. And if you're curious of what that Nike Equality PAC is, you can just click on it, and it's the Secretary of State website will take you straight to the organization statement for the Nike Equality PAC, and it gives you the address, information on who's the treasurer. The nature of the committee is to support equality issues, and you can do an account summary, and here's all the contributions they brought in for 2013 and if they've spent any money. And again, this page is just the summary. If you want to go back, you can just simply go back on your browser and hit campaign finance activity, and you can see all the people who've contributed to this PAC and maybe see where their money is. Now here's an interesting thing. You notice how this line is red. Red indicates up here, as it's noted, that it's an out-of-state contributor, and so it just lets you know that the person contributing has an address outside the state of Oregon. But here we can see where Nike's spending their money or where they're bringing contributions in. We'll just go back to the main page. So I hope that gives you a better idea of how the Secretary of State website works for searching for candidate information and campaign information. It is a really good tool, and it helps you kind of find out more about who's funding certain political action committees, where your money's going, and you can always keep tabs on any committees that you are giving money to, because you want to make sure that they're not spending their money in a place that maybe you don't agree with, and it would help you feel more comfortable about where your contributions are going. I really encourage you to use this website, use this tool as often as you can. It helps with elections so much, and it's just a very important tool. I cannot stress that enough. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys learned a lot, and if you have any questions, comment below or send me an email. It's treasurer@marioncounty.gop.org.